Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Everybody take a deep breath. Okay, I have a short union read, and then I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today, and I will probably get started on my astrological sign reads today as well. So I'm going to just put up my this is the union read, so I'm going to put this up for you so you can see it. Okay. So today is May 28th, 2020. The 28 is the Twin Flames. And I'm sorry, it's not the 28th, it's the 29th. But the union read was done just before midnight. It was done at 11:08 last night. So this is done for the 29th. And the 29th today is the Three of Wands, and the day adds up to 38, which is the Queen of Cups. So being present in the moment as the Queen of Cups, of that unconditional love of the Cups energy, but in the feminine aspect of it, really being an intuitive, kind, loving, and nurturing to others and to self, and just being very present in the moment. So this union energy, and right before I did this union read, my inbox was at 18881, so a lot of 8s and 1s came up, and it was still on the 28th at that time. And the read was done at 11:08, which is Justice and the 8 of Strength. And again, this union read is now for the 4D, 5D, 6D, because I was guided to switch it yesterday from 3D, 4D, 5D to 4D, 5D, 6D. So these are my reads. The underlying energy is here, the feminine energy coming in, the masculine energy going out, and this is the summary card at the end. We have the 4D, 5D, 6D, the feminine energies, the bridge between, and the masculine energies on the right. So the Four of Cups is the underlying energy here. This is the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, and the central energy is the Six of Pentacles. The feminine side is unable to look up at the Two of Cups, so back to sitting on the scale with the money and the manifesting, the crystal energy, staying neutral, no need to work. The underlying divine feminine energy is the Eight of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. So again, that's this energy over here. And also in this deck, for me, this is the divine feminine's heart, the feminine in the E tower. So expressing feelings in an energetic exchange, the color wheel, and color my world, the tennis ball machine, like, throwing the balls out at a very high speed, but then I was getting their paintballs. So like a tennis ball machine flinging out paintballs in emotional fulfillment of the divine feminine's heart in the E tower, and the divine masculine working with crystals outside there patiently on his magic carpet. In the 4D here, we have indigo, and then Nine of Cups, and then the higher self. The divine feminine indigo proposing a diamond, or diamond energy, and the divine masculine in his higher self, which is the divine feminine, and bridging the two in the 4D by the Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, the Six Rays, and Getting Wish, being happy with themselves. So both of them being happy with themselves in the 4D is the bridge to coming together. In the 5D is Luna, Six of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords, the divine feminine subconscious, her shadowy side, the divine masculine sending 5D messages, and bridging the two in the 5D by leveling the scales, or in other words, the playing field. And this has to do with your etheric field. In the 6D is Strength, King of Cups, and Knight of Cups. The divine feminine through the Ring of Fire, which the eclipse is coming up on June 21st. The divine masculine swimming in a cup of coffee, and bridging the two by the King of Cups, unconditional love, eyes reflected between each other, eyes to eyes. The Divine Feminine is the indigo, using crystal to level the tides as the moon moves into the ring of fire at the solar eclipse. So this is referencing the next about 2.5 weeks. The Divine Masculine Higher Self, the Knight of Swords, sending messages to the Knight of Cups in the green room, which is the heart. So it's like surfing the wave, being in the green room, but the green room being the heart. And the bridge between them is the self-fulfillment in the 4D, the balance in the 5D, and the unconditional love in the 6D. The outgoing Divine Masculine energy here is the Page of Pentacles, Two of Cups, and the Hanging Man, curious about his abilities in soulmate connection, hanging out with inclusion of a stone from the sword that's been pulled from it. So this has to do with Excalibur in the stone heart, the sword that only the Divine Masculine can remove from the Divine Feminine, and vice versa. So here it's saying that the sword has been pulled, and that came up in the read today as well. The only way for it to heal is to pull the sword out, and then you bleed out or it heals. It has to be one or the other. You can't leave the sword in there forever. So then we had the Five of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. So that was referencing 5D, 6D, even 7D, because when I first got the message to switch to 4, 5, and 6, I was also getting 7, but in a lesser sense. So some people will go up to 7 as well. Grieving, missing him, and making do with mission and keeping energy pure and balanced on the stairway to heaven. And that was at 1244. 12 being the Hangman, and 44 the Four of Cups, the grounding and integrating and mastering of the receival of love. And this is where we turned to December 29th, 2020. Some other energies coming up here: the energetic exchange to learning their abilities, the emotional family, going from like the family energies and emotional fulfillment to the one-on-one deep connection. The Divine Feminine's heart in the E tower. I was getting the EE tower, and that could have to do with 5D towers as well. The Divine Feminine's heart in the E tower, sending signals out to the hanging man to hang out with the man. Waves getting bigger as we go up into the vortex we go. So the number grid here added up to 54 today. 54 is the Page of Swords, and also right at today at 54, I think it was like around 11:54, it doesn't really matter, but 54 being the Page of Swords is exactly when my new iPad arrived at the door. So that was kind of cool. So that has to do with the message of light. The horizontal grid was coming out as 12, 6, and 36, the Hangman, Lovers, and the Ten of Wands. So hanging out, lovers, with Atlas, which is like the confessional, because it's the weight of the world upon your shoulders. And then the vertical lines were coming out 13, 10, 7, 15, 2, and 7. So the transition destined, ascending through the shadow and the light to sweet chariot, calling in to carry me home. Okay, so that was the union read. And it was very cool too. I watched a movie last night. I don't know if I'd recommend watching it. It was very stressful. It was called Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. And it's not the kind of movie I would normally watch, but I didn't know it was that kind of movie when I started watching it. But it was very cool getting the messages from the movie, because when my son came out to talk to me today, everything he brought up was resonating with everything that came up in the movie last night. So opals came up, and thieves came up, and sports, famous athletes, things like that were coming up. So it was really funny in having the talk with them this morning, because everything we were talking about, the other was confirming from what they were doing. So let's see here. All right, so I'm going to take this out now from the union read. And so here is the Divine Masculine read in front of you. I'm going to pull it back a bit. There we go. Okay, I think I can pull it back a little bit more. Nope, that's it. Okay, so this read in front of you for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames is for May 29th, 2020. For those of you not familiar with my reads, it's a 7-deck read. And it is a general read, so if it doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. There's a lot of specific messages for certain people, and there's a lot of general messages for a lot of people. It is 7 decks. The main deck is the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, which is very in line with the Ascension energies. We have the Rider-Waite Mini, we have the Romance Angels, the Numerology deck, the Tarot Sexual Magic, the Universal Golden Tarot, and the Gilded Tarot. Okay, so it is a general read, don't force anything to fit, and it is for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, which then also is for the masculine within the feminine Twin Flames as well. So the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut right at 10 o'clock today, so that's one of the Magician with a whole lot of source energy backing it up. At 10 of 11, 99 was being highlighted, and that has to do with a lot of compassion. And I finished the read at 10:25, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the turn for the better, and then the 25 of the Knight of Wands, that passionately riding in. The major arcana were Karma, which is judgment, the higher self, and Chariot. And before the read, we also had Justice. There were 4 cups, which is a lot for the masculine, 4 cups, 2 swords, and 2 wands. There were no pentacles here, but 4 cups, so mostly cups here, all about heart-based, emotional things. The court cards in the read were Queen of Cups and Page of Wands. And before the read, the Knight of Wands came up. After the read, the King of Pentacles came up, which also has to do with Akashic Records in this deck. The numbers in the code line were all about love, abundance, and nature. The A was covered in abundance, so it was expressing the BUN dance, and BUN is a marker for the kidneys, just emphasizing to us that our kidneys and liver, they're the natural transmuters of our physical body. So it was saying there may be some more physical purges coming up here, but also the bun dance can be the butt dance, right? So a little bit of butt dancing there, the dance between the masculine and feminine, and the love and the nature, which is just allowing things to happen naturally, but also going out in nature as well. So the numbers came up. We had triple 4s today, which is a very angelic number. We had double numbers for 1s, 6s, and 9s. So that's 11 of Justice, 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, and 99 again, which came up separately from what I saw, which has to do with a lot of compassion. Very important to show compassion right now. Also, the code line was unusual as far as numbers. We had 6, 84, and 14. So 84 was an important number today. 6 is the lovers. 84 is past the tarot in numbers, but it's the reflection of 48, which is walking away and within. And so 84 is about doing the work and closing the cycle, like staying and finishing the cycle as opposed to walking away and within. 14 is also coming up, and that's the Temperance card of patience and balance, and also the angels. And so the 3 numbers added up to 104. So if that's significant to someone, make sure you comment below the 104. And in a lesser sense, 6, 4, and 14, which added up to 24. So again, this was all about love, abundance, and nature. The other numbers that came up were 422, which can be the Emperor and the Fool, but also can be the 42 and the 2, which would be the 2 of Cups and the High Priestess. And the triple and double numbers I told you already. 14 came up, which is the Temperance card. 46, the 6 of Cups, the Children in the Garden. 68, the Page of Pentacles. And 89, which is the reflection of 98, which is the human temperature. So it has to do with the extremes in temperature, like getting too hot or getting too cold. 67 is the Knight of Pentacles. 78, the 10 of Pentacles. And 69, the Ace of Pentacles, which you'll actually see standing upright right in front of you behind the love sign. That was the only ace today that was upright. The other 3 aces were reversed. And the Ace of Pentacles has to do with that offer of a brand new life. It's perfect contentment in the old definition in the Rider-Waite. So now here the code line regarding love, abundance, and nature. We have after death show of power. The divine director, the delta, which is the pooling of the waters in coming together in order to get filtered out. The divine director, the dogs, which the dogs come up for me as Michael and Metatron, and the Sophia energy. And it was so interesting here because I was getting the number 6 and then the 0, but only 3/4 of a 0. So 3/4 was important because it was 6, then 3/4 of a moon, which is the 0 with the 3/4 line through it, so it can represent a 3/4 moon. But today it was representing 6, it literally said 6, then the 3/4 moon, and then 8. And 6 is 3/4 of 8. So then that represented a pattern that was coming up in this read to give me more information. So then we have the home, the 4 of flames is the home and union energy, and then acing the 4 of orbs or swords, which is resting, meditating, praying. So very much this code line about the home. I was just getting a really strong itch in my throat. So someone has an itch to scratch. The 4 of wands and the 4 of swords, so both of them, the home and the resting at home, praying, meditating, all that stuff is really important right now. And the 3/4 was coming up, that 6 is 3/4 of 8, has to do with, it's like Spirit's still trying to tell the masculine over and over again that the feminine is 3/4 of the union of the two of you together, because you guys are more like angelic than most humans. So it's very important to tap into your spiritual or feminine side. And then also high C was coming up, so a lot of vitamin C, but also the H in this high has 3 lines through it like DNA. So it has to do with the DNA, the lowercase I is the chakra system, and then C referencing the crown of the chakra system, but also the Christ consciousness, that unity consciousness coming in. So also coming up here in the message here was a deny of the divine Sophia. So literally Lord was coming up. So Adonai Eloheinu was coming up. So Adonai has to do with the Lord, and Eloheinu, of course, is God. But it was referencing the divine feminine as Lord, but not God, from the masculine's perspective. So this is where this has to change. The denial of the divine Sophia, but Lord is God, and also Lord is Sirius. So Lord Sirius was coming up. That Lord Sirius is serious here about the denial of the divine Sophia. The Sophia 9, which is the collective feminine consciousness, of the 6 and the lovers being 3/4 of then the number 28 was coming up. So 3/4 of 28 is 21, which is completion of the world, and the twins. And also 28 happens to be my address, and the home was coming up in the code line. So it was literally coming up as 28 being the twins at home, and then the number 14 as the angels being patient of thoughts and words in their DNA and their chakra system, especially in their crown, opening up their crown and really focusing on the crown today, and connecting to the Christ consciousness or the unity consciousness. And I was definitely getting, in the masculine read here, the crown closed down, like it's not opened or it's being blocked because of the state of emergency. So then Adonai Eloheinu came up, our Lord is God, divine Sophia lovers, the 3/4 moon, the 6 being 3/4 of 8, and the house of the 4 of wands, number 28, the twin flames, and the 1, the unity of the 4 of swords, which is rest, relaxation, prayer, and meditation in the 5D with your higher self or your twin. The 14 and the high C, again, so make sure you keep your immune system really strong, taking a lot of vitamin C, and using your crown to connect up to the unity consciousness, and focus on your chakra system, your energetic system, for a higher love, the DNA chakra crown. So Barak Atah Adonai Eloheinu Malach HaOlam. Listen, God is ours, God is one. So then HaOlam came up, because Ha always comes up in my reads, the HA, which just refers to the, and Olam has different references depending on who you ask. It can mean the world, the universe, eternal, but it has to do with more of a period in the past as opposed to specifically the world. But Ha-Olam came up because Ha is 8 and 1. 81 is the end of karma, according to how I interpret the divine triangle in the numerology book. And also Ha-Olam, the name came up online as the central organ of the World Zionist Organization, it was a paper they published 1907 to 1950, established on the initiative of N, just the capital N, which you guys know for me is code Jesus. And this happened all through this little paragraph here. So this paper was published on the initiative of N, which is Jesus, and then Sokolov was the initial editor for the World Zionist Organization, and then Ha'olam was a Hebrew counterpart of Die Welt, which is another paper, the German language official organ of the Zionist organization. Like Die Welt, the Ha'olam had a yellow cover, which according to Herzl was the symbol of transformation of the shameful yellow badge, right, of the shameful yellow badge to a color of pride and respect. So the paper moved from Germany in December of 1908 to Vilna in Russia under Droyanov, editor, in the spring of 1912 upon initiative of M.M., which cracked me up, Mary Magdalene. Usishkin was moved to Odessa until the outbreak of World War I, and then resumed in 1919 in London again with Abraham Idleson, which is idle son, Abraham Idle son, as editor, and that was 1921, and then back to Germany 1923, and then in 24 they had to go back to, it was here where they went back to London because of the war. So first they went to London, then they went back to Germany, then back to London because of the war, and for several years they did printing in Paris, which is where my father was born. So the final move for this paper was in 1936 to Jerusalem, because then it became the headquarters of the World Zionist Organization. And then Kleinman, who was the editor then, his participation was 23 to 48. And then when he died, 2 assistants took over, and their names were M. Chartenay and M. Cohen were the editors. I know it was Chartener or Chartenay, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but both of their first initials were M and M, so the M and M comes up again, and for me, when they're separate, it's Michael and Metatron. So we had Jesus in here, we had Mary Magdalene, and then Michael and Metatron editors, and that was until 1950, and then 50 is the 10 of Cups, the emotional fulfillment, the end of that, and that was when the paper ended. So that was really cool with the coding that came up there. The headers, just not much in the headers today. A new film, Hereditary, came up. It is a hot box of horror, was just the header. I didn't write anything else down. And then from Clegg.com, an 8-sided die, which may or may not be a fair die, having to do with dice, has 4 colors on it. What is the probability you will roll a red on the next toss? And so they listed purple, red, pink, and orange as the colors. Purple, red, pink, and orange. And then the numbers 27, 39, 31, and 30. So if that's significant to someone, let me know. Another header was, so those who pulled from 8% banner, how many orbs did you see? So anyway, it was just listing 101 orbs. So there's another number that came up, and that was from reddit.com. And there was another header that was just a whole bunch of zeros and O's. So O's and different shaped O's, because there were zeros, not O's, but not just O's and O's, but lowercase O's and uppercase O's and zeros. So it was like lowercase O, uppercase O, lowercase O, uppercase O. And then in parentheses was capital D, lowercase m, 3, and then D again, and then D-O, lowercase b, with uppercase O, and then 0. So this went on, and that was from DOCH or DocHub, dochub.clackamas.us, CLACKAMAS.us. Another header that came up from RSTT.net was 4 blades I have, yet draw no blood. Still I turn my prey to power. If you are brave, come search my roof. It is there my blades are louder. And then the last header was I see 4 objects, purple. So purple came up a few times, red came up a few times. 4 was up all over the place. And 29 being the day 29 was also coming up all over the place. Very significant today. So then my son had come out to go out to run, and he started bringing up what he was watching. And this is when the opal came up, and that came up in the movie I watched last night, and the thief and the sports guy, and how it was unfair that someone who was average would go into the Hall of Fame, which was along the same lines of the movie, because it was just as someone reached his crowning achievement, he was killed in the movie. So there was a big lesson in that for us about staying on the journey and not looking for the outcome, the achievement. It's not about the achievement, it's about the journey. And again, the number 29 came up, as well as 24, and opals. And it was really cool how the movie tied the opal into the experience of the human, because in the beginning they show the opal, you know, they go in really close up to show you the layers of the opal, like it's going inside of something, even though it's just a small stone. And then at the end of the movie, they go into the bullet wound and show the human body as all of the colors and textures, and all, it goes through the whole human body of how beautiful the human body is. So what's really more beautiful, the opal or the human body? It was very cool. And the girl gets the money at the end. And for both of the things, the girl gets away with the money because she was good. She was being authentic to herself, and she wasn't trying to screw anybody over. The thief dies, the sports guy wins and trusts because he has faith. 29, the number of the present, the gift of the now moment. So again, the 3/4 came up. 3/4 of 28 is 21, which is the world, completion. And 28 is the two angels, the twins. 3/4 of 14 is 10.5, which is the Wheel of Fortune, plus the 5, that half, of expansion. But the 4/4 have to do with 3.5, which is the half of 7. 35 is also the Wounded Warrior, the Mary Magdalene. Then the 3/4 of 68 came up, and 68 is the Page of Pentacles. And 3/4 of 68 is 51, the King of Swords, because it's minus 17, the star. So the first one was 28, 3/4 is 21 minus the number 7. The second one was 14 minus 3.5 to be 10.5. And the third 3/4 was 68, becomes 51, taking away 17. So they're all very significant numbers. So we come back to the code line here regarding love and abundance and transmutation of the physical body and nature, allowing things to occur naturally. And this was at 11:55, and this is when I had my package drop. And so we're back to the code line of Lord, Adonai, Divine Sophia, and then SS9 was coming up, which is a location in England, in Essex. The Divine Sophia, the 6, the lovers, the 3/4, and the 8 of the dance, the home and the union, and the acing of the unity consciousness, the rest meditation and prayer and 5D connection of the DNA chakra system, the crown, and the Christ consciousness. The after-death show of power of the 2 and the 9, not the 1, but the 2, because you are each other, and not just the 1, but the 9, because it's not just you, it's the collective consciousness. And how the 2 and the 9 come together is the 29 in the now moment and the gift of the now moment. The now show of power of the nickel and the water and the sun, how they feed us. The jar of hearts of the lovers, and the 3/4 of the 84, which equals 63, the suffering in silence because of the taking away of the 21, which is the completion of the world. And 84, by the way, is 21 times 4. And 21's completion, and so 84 represents 4 completions. It's like 4 years of graduating. So that was very cool. And it references staying and doing the work, completing the cycle, as opposed to the 48, walking away and within. So doing the outer work as opposed to the inner work. SS9 came up as a Chinese electric locomotive. It's called Shaoshan, mainly used pulling sub-high speed passenger trains. So again, designed for the 5th National Railway speed up or quickening. I was getting there again. And again, it's talking about pulling things, and that came up yesterday. And 2 prototypes were first developed 12/26/98, so that date might be significant for someone. Like I said, SS9 is also a location in Essex, and the address Ray Lee Avenue came up. So R-A-Y, Ray, and then Lee, L-E-I-G-H Avenue came up, and then Lee on C, SS9. And C came up in the header as well. So Li on C and the ray. Then DS also came up, which has to do with a measurement, an SI unit of time, 10 to the minus 1. It also means jar, flint, and knife quotes came up from C 1900 BCE. And they were all pictures. I'm not sure if it was Sanskrit. It didn't say Sanskrit, but it looked like Sanskrit. Sharp are the knives against one who transgresses the path. There is no haste except at its proper time. So again, 3/4 was coming up, and that 3/4 is also 3 of the Empress and 4 of the Emperor. That the Empress, or 3, is 3 parts of the 4 of the Emperor, of flames, patient of thought, as well as DNA, chakra system, and their crown, the Emperor's crown. Patient of thought, his DNA, his chakra system, and his crown, using his noggin, in other words, his DNA crown. So here we start up with the beginning of the read with the Queen of Cups upright at 141, which is the Magician and the Ace of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is upright, sitting pretty, with the Knight of Wands reversed below there, then the Knight of Wands upright, the 9 of Wands upright, the Wounded Warrior, Justice upright, and then the 6 of Wands upright. So the Queen of Cups upright, sitting pretty, after the player falling short or holding back their desires fell off the horse, the Wounded Warrior, Justice, truth and balance, of the journey, good news, success, and leading the way to the Queen of Cups. The Page of Pentacles, student or opportunity, standing up to others on the behalf of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or the Page of Pentacles upright to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, the Fool free from a painful ending or ending pain, or betrayal or back pain and associated treatments, and no peace, being strong, or no peace with a Leo or ego. And the Queen of Swords speaks on suffering and silence, of lovers and affections. And the Page of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, perhaps mother and son, the son standing up for the mother even when she is wrong, causing his suffering and her using his love against him. Also that mother chooses, or he does, someone like her, or in other words, the mother wants him to marry someone just like her. So it's referencing like Mother Mary and then Mary Magdalene at 149, which is the Magician, and the 49 of the 9 of Cups, the Get Your Wish card. And then the son always wanting to please the mother. Now this can represent the son doing the same for his partner, like defending her even when she's wrong, and then them using each other, right, and abusing each other in that way because you're not being authentic to yourself in that moment. So 149, the Page of Pentacles with a negative past or negative memories or a bad childhood or difficulty as a child or being treated as a child, with the Hierophant reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, indebted or scammed or not sharing with the Empress upright, an unfair relationship or saying she's dealing with 3 kids, the Page of Pentacles partner acting like a child, and 2 difficult kids, and trying to get the Empress to babysit or care for them, or float the gold coin over the Queen of Pentacles reversed, the matriarch using her financial power also to control family members, and this is a masculine or patriarchy trait, but as a feminine doing it. The Scrooge between the Empress upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Pentacles, difficult kids, and Taurus reversed, not sharing with the Empress, perhaps someone with melon balls or ice cream scoop, or seen as a nutcase, or has to put her 2 cents in, or top things off, or in other words, get her approval on everything before they do it. Holding money over the Queen of Pentacles reverse head, and the Divine Masculine perhaps. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed spent all their savings and asking up for more. The Scrooge holding on tight, hoarding or stashing money or stuff. The Queen of Pentacles reversed coming off as all about the money, and the Empress presenting as all about the heart, but she's putting it outside of herself. Or the Empress is dangling a cookie, floating a coin, to see what the Queen of Pentacles reversed will do to get it, or using it for bribes, or the Empress taught the Divine Masculine or the Queen of Pentacles reversed to keep their finances to themselves and not share with women, or the Empress is passing money past the Queen of Pentacles reversed and straight to her child, from the grandmother to the grandchild, the Page of Pentacles, the golden child, or mother with son and daughter, and the son is the saver and the daughter is the spender, so the mother treats them differently. The Queen of Cups may be the Empress, or she between the Emperor upright and the King of Wands reversed, the Queen of Cups. The Empress may have just refused to share with the Taurus reversed, or will cut them off in case of divorce, or just refuse to help with kids and treated Divine Masculine like a child, so now he clings to money as a security blanket and safety. Perhaps the Empress's brother was the Hierophant reversed abuser when they were kids, who scammed the Empress or owes her money, or she cut them off and disassociated from the kids as well because of the family dark past or secret. Holding on, opening, saving, grounding, being more moderate, juggling and aroused when performing or by a performer, spiritual divorced, broke contract or narcissistic abuser, or Taurus reversed or religious leader gone bad and losing their flock, their riches, or now in major debt. The fall of the patriarchy and abuse of altar boys and family payoffs. Illegal or immoral connections between church and state, and then Penn State came up, and a whistleblower. Perhaps more institutions like Penn State are losing money and power due to whistleblowing on their abuses, unable to tap dance their way out of it this time. And that was at 217 to 18, which is the High Priestess and the Star and the Moon. So reconciliation comes up here, and below that was free yourself. The number 414 was also important here. It came up in the header, and it came up then again with the underlying numerology deck cards, because they were 4 and 14, so that came up twice. And then 84 and 29, like I said, are really significant here. The Knight of Cups reversed. All right, so there's definitely jealousy and sincerity here. The Knight of Cups reversed, jealous, insincere, or feeling rejected and moody, emotionally unavailable or unable to love, or receiving only. The Page of Swords leaning on the truth, with the left hand dangling saying, talk to the butt. It's like their hand wasn't available to say talk to the hand, so they said talk to the butt. Willing to message but not willing to face. Dumping a load, a burden, a responsibility, or confessing after the fact. Together, and it's funny, my son was watching The Facts of Life. So after the fact, together and disconnected, or at a distance but connected, the Queen of Swords with the man in the mirror who pretends she doesn't exist. Message rejected, toxic dumping on the one getting away with it, with the Queen of Swords suffering in silence or stressed or up at night, purging, still holding a fan, or fond memories fading. Hairy legs caught in the weeds, or wood, or tripped up by the vine, or the grapevine, leaving the truth and the armor next to the bed, so they're not taking the truth into bed with them. Tulips or red flowers by the window, perhaps with a view of a horse or a deer or another animal that's grazing. And that was at 229, which is the High Priestess and the Three of Wands. And the sun brightened right there. The Knight of Cups reversed, rejected or ignored the message of confession at a distance. The Queen of Swords, the war widow, trying to let go of ghosts of the past that still return to haunt her. Libra upright, Leo upright, Gemini upright, Taurus reversed, and Scorpio reversed were all here in the underlying energies. Perseverance came up as an underlying energy, number 4, and beneath that was moderation. So again, here was the 414, because we had the 4 perseverance and the 14 of moderation, which is the Temperance card. Negative self-talk or rumors or spying of the Queen of Cups upright and the Queen of Cups praying the dark birds will go away and dump their emotional attachments, or the Page of Swords reversed, immature child or immature communication, or praying the Queen of Cups will let go of emotions that no longer serve her. The Queen of Swords reversed, healing in the aftermath of sudden events, epiphanies, or even orgasm, or perhaps someone's just irritated down there. Healing 2 swords in her heart, or the Queen of Swords reversed removed one of 3 swords, so the Divine Masculine could stop resisting healing it. The royal line, or pain in the royal hiney, or hemorrhoids perhaps were coming up. Or the Page of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, spreading rumors about the Queen of Cups upright in order to avoid a disaster on them. The Page of Swords reversed and Queen of Cups upright may be getting real and on their knees and praying, but the Queen of Swords reversed is removing the sword from the wound to either allow it to bleed out or heal. Resisting orgasm, epiphany, or unexpected events, or in the aftermath, the Queen of Cups upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, spending or losing money, or dysfunctional family, business, legacy, or community. The Queen of Swords looking in the mirror or avoiding it and speaking on it and persevering, which was number 4. All one big dysfunctional family, persevering and being moderate and practical and more realistic and green, or in other words, more heart-based. And right at this last line, the rain started. At first it was really soft and quiet at 2:48, and then it got really, really hard. And then all of a sudden at 2:49, it was done and out of here, just like was gone. And then the sun became really bright outside. It rained like really hard, and it didn't last more than a minute. And then we came to 2:51, which is the High Priestess and the King of Swords, as 51, the logical man. After a mess, the Queen of Cups and Queen of Swords are cleaning it up. They're upright now. The Queen of Swords was reversed in the underlying energy, but in the read, she's upright. The Queen of Cups is upright and the Queen of Swords upright, cleaning up a mess. As the Queen of Pentacles reversed Taurus with financial loss or dysfunctional family. Perhaps she made the mess. The Queen of Cups could be a Scorpio, the Queen of Swords upright. And the Page, well, the Queen of Swords came up reversed with the Page of Swords reversed in the underlying energy, but the Queen of Swords also came up upright. But either one of them can be Gemini or Libra. And then the Queen of Pentacles reversed came up as a Taurus energy. There weren't any other choices there, but that's what came up. She can be another earth sign, but that was very specific in the read. The recent energy is Karma reversed. No judgment, no fallout, no decision. Or an Aquarius reversed, holding back announcement or not using their crown. The King of Swords partner or connection, not patient, or fallen angel, or Sagittarius reversed without options. Or the King of Swords connecting with his dark side. Libra upright, Sagittarius reversed, or Aquarius reversed fallen angel, or Sagittarius and the King of Swords, Libra, with Sag in his chart. Dumping a load, a burden, responsibility, or confessing, out in the cold, in exile, destitution, injury, or illness, or spreading the word, the divine feminine, with no peace, or peaceful place to go, and the Page of Wands, upright, divine masculine, inspired and emotionally fulfilled, dumping a load and feeling complete, justice, divorce, or Libra, and Sagittarius reversed, or Libra, not patient, or justice, not patient, or the justice system, not patient, or happy to be in their truth and balance, and fallen angels, so making peace with all sides of themselves, loving all of themselves. The foundation is the Six of Cups reversed, a negative past or bad childhood memories, difficult kids, or the past returning, drained, overexposed, or in need of sunshine, trapped, anxious, prisoner of kids or twins held prisoners, and the King of Cups reversed, dumping toxic waste, or purging radiation poisoning, or crying over losing his sunshine or kids, and the Empress with hostage, or King of Cups reversed, is pushed to his emotional limits, and the Empress is sitting on the hostage as the prison warden. Someone got burnt, too much sun or radiation, or the King of Cups reversed held captive by his mother, grandmother, aunt, or spouse, or his own abundance, a burden, responsibility perhaps for difficult kids who may be grown. And the central energy is the Nine of Swords, suffering in silence, or sister wives, third party or negative groups or influences spreading the word of a negative past and childhood abuses, social distancing and pain in the butt, kids. The King of Wands reversed, tired, sick, or sick and tired, or angry, and the Queen of Cups under the Emperor's thumb, sitting pretty. The Emperor, justice, judge, divorce, or Libra, with Page of Cups upright, child, And she could be, the Page of Cups can be the Queen of Cups as well, because this could be referencing her as the child to the Emperor, or a message of love as the Page of Cups, third party through work or issue getting along at work or financial issues. The Emperor or Aries, player or falling short or off the wagon, and a little birdie was trying to get into my window right at that moment. And they weren't like hitting the window like I've told you before, but this sweet little bird just kept tapping against the window trying to like land on my window, because there's a little bit of a ledge outside because there's a grid on it. But it wasn't like once or twice. It kept doing it like 10 times and then finally gave up trying to get in the window. That was at 3:16 to 17. The Empress and the Tower and the Star. Not banging, but kept on holding back, kept on sitting on the window ledges trying to find a way in. So going back to the read, or holding back desires, but inspired by the Hermit with Light or Virgo, or Emperor with 2 kids, the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands upright. But in this read, the masculine is seeing himself as the Page of Wands, so that could be him. Asking the Hermit or Virgo for guidance at 3:20, which is the Empress and Judgment. Or the King of Wands is reversed, falling out of the Emperor's favor, but the Page of Wands upright is still good. Or the Page of Cups upright. And then we have Aries, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces here. Or a blended family where the Emperor is the grandfather or judge, and the King of Wands reversed with Knight of Wands reversed and Page of Wands upright, kids, and the Queen of Cups upright with the Page of Cups upright. Perhaps related to the Queen of Cups, the Emperor, maybe the Emperor is related to the Queen of Cups, but siding with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, so the kids along with an advisor or Virgo person. Or the Emperor father of the King of Wands reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands upright, and is siding with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands upright, but not the King of Wands reversed. Or dealing with custody court or child support issues here. The challenge being the Four of Wands upright, the home or union of the Emperor and the Hermit caring for kids, and issues at work with the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups upright, with perhaps a bad past or associations with partners or negative influences or multiple partners, or child abuse and kids suffering in silence, or the twins are. The Magician, Gemini or Virgo, with home or stability, starting over in love, guarded with their boundaries up. 2, the Page of Wands, and or the Emperor, which either one can be the Divine Masculine. A getaway or running away from heartbreak and separation of the past, with the Queen of Wands telling everyone she's starting over without him, or the King of Wands reversed broke her heart in the past, lying, cheating, or stealing, or he told others that he was unhappy, and she or he, living in the past or in separation, took off with the goods or the intellectual property, or the guarded secret information. Justice, divorce, or Libra, and the Page of Cups, child or loving message, Scorpio or death of a child, or transitioned or transformed, dark night with higher self, the end of the home or death transition of family or union, grieving a loss, regret, guilt, or shame, and the King of Wands reversed, unhappy that the Page of Swords child perhaps giving the Page of Swords child perhaps a Gemini, or a message out of walking away from Scorpio or dark night portal in the end transition with the Queen of Wands and world upside down, or seal divine feminine in another 5D world and standing up for themselves. Now is the higher self upright, the secret, psychic abilities, or Pisces, walking away and within from dissatisfaction without options and dropping the ball, and powerless or with dependents who are financial drains. The 10 of Cups, happiness and completion, dependent on the state of emergency, breakdown, broken, car issues, unable to move or travel. The Queen of Cups, perhaps a Pisces, and the Page of Cups could be a Scorpio or vice versa. Home, hanging out with the Capricorn reversed, or detoxing that there was no reunion or no party in pursuit of happiness, or a third party on a quest and destined, dark night, Libra, Scorpio, wounded warrior, the King of Wands reversed, unhappy, and the King of Swords upright with third party on journey spreading the word of two minds, the King of Swords upright and the King of Cups reversed, one ego-driven and one walking away and within, or trying to stay above these two energies, pure of mind and in the 5D connection, and that was at 351, which is the Empress and the King of Swords. At 356, we have the Empress and the Two of Swords. The King of Wands reversed, wounded warrior, and the King of Swords, child, with attention. And the King of Cups reversed, walking away and within, emotionally detached to keep their energy pure. Not sharing, perhaps alcohol or depression issues, dark night, death, and endings, the Hermit missing their flame, dark night with the Queen of Wands watching the sealed Divine Feminine stand up for herself and fend off others. Soon as the Ace of Cups reversed, dumped or in the dumps, overwhelmed, purging, defensive, wounded warrior on their last leg, sharing the home with the Queen of Wands or living on two different sides of the house. The wounded warrior at odds with deliberations, Aquarius reversed, holding back an announcement, choking on their words, expressing feelings, energetic exchange, or arrows of love, and starting over in love, jealous and feeling guilty, suffering in silence, the wounded warrior bird taking off to the stars, or Aquarius or dream, healer or dream girl, between two wounded warriors. Suffering in silence and defensive, guarded at war, perpetrator and victim, savior and patient. Sending energetic love messages but refusing the wake-up call, or refusing the call, or refusing to call them. He sees himself as the Page of Wands inspired with mask on and burning flame, holding their tongue in a split, lies, or cutting through the BS, manifesting with all tools on board. The High Priestess quiet in the aftermath of sudden events, epiphanies, the world upside down, or Divine Feminine 5D world, overworking, not working, to remove the sword from the stone. The King of Pentacles reversed is the Magician's wand, coming from DNA that's all about money and manifestation, inspired to pull the sword without any help, too proud, perhaps lost money in state of emergency, and split, but manifesting now with childlike inspiration. Pisces upright, Pisces reversed, Scorpio reversed, and Gemini or Virgo both upright here, with earthy family all about abundance and property. And then I was getting monopoly here. Separation, children, and unrequited love, engagement, and this could be the one, all came up for the Divine Masculine here. And then the number 28 came up again, the twin flames. But also happens to be my address. So the High Priestess and Magician, with the world all about money weighing on him, around the Divine Masculine, or how he is seen, is the Eight of Cups, frustrated or trying to control their sexual energy, unable to conceive or arouse at night, or being abstinent, or trying to get a grip with Cancer, or the eclipses in Cancer, seeing synchronicities, options, and the One, radiating and orchestrating a big offer of new life. Clearing blocks for the masculine has to do with the Four of Swords, resting alone by the water, grieving, jealousy, guilt, and shame in 5D meditation or connection of love, abundance, nature, and even more so, adventure and individuality. In a harsh split or release from hospital, rehab, prison, service unit, that could be military, porn or a porn star, or deviant sex practices, and purging, dumped, crying, or dealing with prostate issues or dumping syndrome, and that doesn't have to be them, it can be someone around them. The Chariot reversed, stuck in state of emergency, broken, broke down, broke up, down, or through. Debt, scam, inequity, imbalance, not sharing, and the Knight of Pentacles working to offer help to their dreams, to healing, to a healer, or to their dream girl at 426, which is the Emperor, and the Page of Wands. The Cancer reversed, not moving or ascending, starting over, done, grounding and integrating, and being bored. Reaping rewards of powerlessness, taking a risk. Frustrated or holding back, sexual and or creative energies, passing downloads to the King of Pentacles reversed without his crown open, or without crown open to receive. The Knight of Wands reversed, wounded warrior, justice leading the way, to the Queen of Cups upright with a negative past with the Page of Wands, walking away, deliberating, and not answering the call to action, suffering in silence and challenged by the Four of Wands home and union, the Ace of Cups reversed in the dumps, meditating, resting, perhaps by water, and the 5D meditation with higher self broken and starting over, controlling the third energy and taking a risk to send message to the King of Pentacles reversed, who's ungrounded, greedy, or losing money and status. The Queen of Cups holding back an announcement or judgment in the aftermath of sudden events, epiphanies, or a negative past, or childhood, or with twins, suffering in silence with the higher self and challenged by the union. The Page of Wands with mask and flame, dumped or overwhelmed and broken, walking away and within to the 5D connection, but not ascending or broke, or Cancer reverse broken, or without a car, starting over, the masculine, no longer an island unto themselves, controlling what happens with third energy. This is the feminine energy perhaps as well. Taking risks, passing downloads with the King of Pentacles reversed, emptying Akashic records, reaping powerlessness, so allowing all, and in other words, transmuting the polarities. So in reaping is one end, being powerless is the other end, and then bringing them together in transmuting polarities. So we have the Queen of Cups as positive energy, not judging. The Nine of Swords of suffering and silence is the main energy for the read, the challenge being the union or the home. And then the Page of Wands is also upright, the way the masculine seeing himself, inspired by the purging, higher self stuck, broken, or Pisces upright and Cancer reversed and Aquarius reversed, or the children or the twins suffering between the Queen of Cups and the Page of Wands, suffering in silence in separate corners at home. Higher self in state of emergency, passing downloads to a greedy man. So it's where passing on downloads, maybe if the masculine is not aware or his crown's not open, someone around him is receiving those downloads and using them against them. So that was the energy there. I'm going to pull a couple oracle cards for you guys. So take another deep breath. This is from the energy deck. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And let's clear all negative, dark, and viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all is concerned. And fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so what is the message from this read today? What was the point and what is our takeaway? What does everyone need to know? Okay, we have 45 with a man holding a heart, and he looks a little bit sad, okay? So that's one energy. It's a lot of red having to do with root chakra issues. And then this is the other end of the masculine, the sixth chakra archangel Metatron using his third eye, but is his crown fully open? Well, this is saying so. This is number 40, which is the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is upright. And the 45 is grieving. This is the masculine grieving, but also opening his innocent heart, which is opening his crown, okay, fully using his third eye by going through the grieving process, which is really beautiful. Look at that. And there's that Emperor card, but it's the 53 of the Knight of Swords, that catapult energy. All of a sudden God appearing, or catching the Emperor in the middle of the night when he's vulnerable, the Magician in the mirror. So these are all the different aspects of the masculine coming up here. Really beautiful there. Really coming into his power in all aspects and accepting all parts of himself. And then these two come up together, 36 and 35, which is second chakra and first chakra. So 1 and 2, right? Safety and security first, the foundation, and then the feminine energy. So the masculine saying, the masculine's still number 1, the feminine is number 2. The 36 of the 10 of Wands, the Atlas, the weight of the world upon their shoulders, and the 35 of the Mary Magdalene. So it's really interesting. They're switching places because usually the masculine would be the Atlas energy and the feminine would be the Mary Magdalene wounded warrior energy. So he's coming up the wounded warrior energy, and she's coming up as the Atlas energy with the weight of the world upon their shoulders. Co-pilots 1 and 2. Masculine just wants to make sure that you know the order that this is still in. Really funny. So it's funny, it's 35, this should be first. I'm being corrected. 35 and 36. Okay? Because the foundation has to come first, and then the expression. The underlying energy here is anxiety 18, which is the moon. So some of you may be feeling some anxiety coming up, so to allow it to come up, to see what's there. 18 is the moon, so that has to do with the nighttime, so it might be harder for you at night. Because we just passed the new moon, so it's not like it's a difficult time, but we're approaching an eclipse. The first one I think is June 5th, and then the solar eclipse is the 21st. So we're coming into these energies in just a few weeks. So they're already here, but they're building up now. So you may be feeling the anxiety of the eclipses approaching. So I want to show you these cards again, how beautiful they are. Notice that this is very angelic, and then these are the more, physical energies here. This could be a father energy. This can represent God, right? Or just catching the divine masculine without just being free to be who he is, without shaving, in his pajamas at night at 3 o'clock in the morning. What? This is me, right? Who would have thought it's just me? I always forget what the name of that show was. The guy who flies. I just can't think of the name of the show. It's an old show. Who could it be? It's just me. He's floating on air without a wing and a prayer. If anyone knows the title of that show, let me know. I forget. Anyway, this is all the energies of the masculine coming up. So beautiful. And then in combination with the feminine. Okay. But you notice they're not looking at each other right now. And even when you had them this way before, which I was corrected, they're still not looking at each other. They're looking past each other. Okay, you can't come together when you're not looking at each other. But he's fully come into his power, his maturity, and his heart. He's feeling all of it. And then the underlying energy was anxiety. So we're past this, right? This is the underlying energy going into these new energies, which are really powerful. So now I'm going to pull from the KIPPER deck. And I don't want to do this too long because I want to get started on the astrological signs. So of course I'm going to start in Gemini, since that's where we are right now. All right, so from the KIPPER deck, what is our takeaway from this read? What do we need to know? All right, we got 2. We have the house upright and the marriage reversed. So perhaps this masculine has the house in a disconnect, whether it's a divorce or a disconnect from a business, whatever it is. They have the property, but not the marriage. And then we have somebody in bad health. So it's perhaps that someone had to go to hospital, or someone may have passed. And this could have happened a long time before, but here's a reversal of fortune as well. So perhaps in this, whatever this is, this break of whatever it is, or ill health, there was a reversal of fortune. Perhaps the illness took up all the money, or someone thought they were getting an inheritance, but the person who died, their health bills took up the inheritance, and this is blocking someone from going on path with no message, waiting for a message. No message or message of concern at all. It's like the feminine working no longer in despair, and so the masculine's hurt by this because she's no longer messaging because he doesn't respond or doesn't care. All right, so here we have imprisonment, and the main female is the underlying energy. So the female in the prison, toiling and laboring away. Okay, that's the underlying energy. And then here, what I just showed you was the masculine energy coming out, okay? So make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. Really important to go out and get some sun during the day. Put your feet in the grass. Just really ground yourself right now, okay? The energies are really strong coming in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just make sure you're good to yourself. Everything. Rise and be loved. Bye.